Hey there, dear viewers. Welcome to Obsessed with Werewolves. I'm so glad you're here because I know you, like me, have a passion for all things werewolf. From their captivating tales to their mysterious nature, we're going to explore it all. So, let's dive right in inside our obsession together. Blended mysteries. I watch dazed as the leaves elevate, swirl around, and as Maisie lowers her hands and stops the chant, the leaves fall too. Maisie, what? I look at her in awe, feeling myself at a loss of words. I am a witch, she says simply, and I gasp surprised for a minute before the logical part kicks in. Wait. You are a werewolf, and no one can possess just a supernatural capabilities. That's right. And actually a part I haven't quite figured out yet, she says, and I nod. How did you find out? And how can you be sure that these powers are of a witch? I was in the Pack library that day and I found a book named GIS in Alchemy. It was strange as I never had seen that book before in that section. But the name was fascinating, so I took it to my room. I was just casually reading the first few lines, which said, "The water spell." The entire book is in some different language I can't fathom, but the transcript is in English. Just out of boredom I followed the instructions, and I froze to ice when the water moved. She explains, quite fumbling around with words. I think about it for some time, taking it in. Luna, I think you should try and follow the same instructions and see if it works. Maybe I'm not the only one who can do this, she quickly adds, and I shake my head. Maisie, I don't think that's going to happen. Such things are special and not everyone can do them. But I found this book in a general library. Don't you think it should have been locked in a chest and stored somewhere if it is what we think it is? Her question is rational, and so I agree, not really positive that it will work. Okay. Tell me what to do. Focus on the water and think about raising it. Then repeat the chant I'm saying. Okay. I breath and raise my hands towards the water. Oro switched hands G or Alvadil over smo brand F at way tefae, she says slowly, and I repeat. I memorize it in a while and then, shifting my focus to the water, try to raise it. Nada. Nothing happens. I look at Maisie and she looks startled just like me. It's you, Maisie. You are blessed with magic. You are a witch, you. I smile at her, still feeling odd, placing my hands on her shoulder blades, and she still seems reluctant. I know it's thrilling to accept such a thing. When I first discovered I'm the fire elemental, I couldn't believe it. Now I know that I have a purpose for possessing such a power, I explain further in reassurance. She is quiet for a long while, but then finally speaks. But it's hard to believe this. You understand that I am a werewolf to right. So being a witch is absurd and it's not according to the laws of nature. She says, confused, and I agree. She has a point. I understand, Maisie, but it's too soon. Just let it be and wait for the answers to evolve when they're supposed to. Don't stress over this. It's a good thing. Not bad, okay? I say, and he sighs with a nod. Yes, Luna. You're right. I should try to find out answers instead of just fussing about this. I nod with a smile and we both walk to the house. Maisie, I know there is a lot to discuss, but right now I must to Xalvador to discuss about the attacks, okay? I'll stop by your room later, I say, and she quickly nods. Of course, Luna. I'll see you later, she says, and I crane my neck to a side. She realizes and laughs. I mean, of course, Miss Arabella. I'll see you later, she says, and scurries away in the house. I walk briskly to Xalvador's office and find Marcel, Liam, and Axel sitting there. Xalvador nods as I stand beside them, and Liam gives me a small W smile while Marcel and Axel nod in acknowledgement. Double the number of the border wolves. I can't risk the events of today repeating. Marcel, start training the under-18 wolves from tomorrow. At least they should be able to defend themselves when required. And Beta, your rounds are doubles now. Once in the morning and one in the evening when I'll accompany you. Got it. And Liam, get the group heads on the ground in the morning. We have things to discuss. And all wolves train an hour extra from tomorrow. Marcel, you are free to choose your own volunteers. He barks swift orders and the other grunt in affirmation. How about I take training too? I ask and Xalvador ponders. Fine. You will train with me 1 hour every morning and every night. He says, his eyes soften then before and I narrow my eyes. I meant train with Marcel. With the pack. It would be an honor, Luna. Marcel says with a small smile and I smile back. He is a handsome man, tall and built like Xavier with sharp features and a manly voice. But he is probably older than Xalvador. Leave. Xalvador commands and I break my contact with Marcel. Startled. I don't leave as I have realized with past experiences that this command doesn't apply on me. The 3 wolves leave with Liam giving me a final look before going. What now? I fold my arms around me bosom and Xalvador walks to me. My stance falters as he stands close to me, our bodies just an inch away from touching. You were very brave today, but I don't want you to risk your life like this. He tries to distract me, tucking a strand of my hair behind my ear and I fight myself to not lean into his touch. You can let me train with Marcel as a thank you. I am not letting another man see my mate drenched in sweat and moving around in different ways. And that too unmarked. He growls possessive lie, his eyes darkening. Well then, why don't you just shove me into a room and lock it? I smile sweetly at him. That's a good idea. He breathes leaning towards my ear and my heart rate spikes up. That way, I can have you all to myself, whatever I want, without fearing you running away or being with other men. His voice caresses my cheek in feathery whispers. His hand unfolds my arms from around me and then encircles my waist, pulling me to him. His left hand grabs my neck on the side and slides over it, his rough hand setting fire on my skin. I start losing my sanity and push away. Xalvador, stop. We are having a conversation here. I reprimand and he nods. Of course, sugar bun. When did I refuse? He says, stepping towards me again and taking me into his arms. I want to train with the pack. Want to learn how to take down multiple wolves. I manage to stutter as his lips crash on my neck, nipping and kissing their way to my cheek. How about you let me mark you and then I give you the freedom to train and move around the pack? He says as his tongue lapping at the junction where I am to be marked. I moan and ball my fists as they almost reach his neck, urging him to do whatever he wants. He is smart. He is using my desire and the bond to mark me. And he is possessive, which is why I don't want to stay here. I need freedom, which Xalvador doesn't know the meaning of. I can't let him mark me. Why? Because that makes him stronger and more dominant over my wishes, my feelings and my freedom. And that won't do. Just won't. What do you say, sugar bun? It will just take a second and then you will be free. He coos and I shift away now. I am not letting you mark me. I am not ready for it. I say firmly and he stiffens. Well then I am not ready either to let you mingle with other wolves. But I said no, sugar bun. You can leave now. I'll join you in bed in some time. He commands in his no-nonsense voice and I grumble some colorful words under my breath, leaving his office. Damn you, Xalvador. Some argument should be lost. I ignore as Xalvador enters his room and pretend to fall asleep. He emerges from the bathroom after a while, freshly showered and clothed, and I resist my urge to take a complete glance at him. I just rest my head on the headboard and stay in a sitting position. I feel the bed dip as Xalvador moves in beside me, raising tingles on my back. Sugar bun. Aren't you sleeping? He asks, and I find his tone amused. Stop poking your nose everywhere. I'll sleep when I want to. I say calmly, though there is a sharp edge to my voice. That is not how you talk to me. He growls lowly and I snap my eyes open, burning with fury. And who do you think you are, talking to me like this, and ordering me to do everything your way? I snap. I am your mate, and no matter what you say, you cannot change that fact. He leans in, anger surfacing in his voice. Well then, if it's about being mates, then I am your mate, Xalvador. And it's your duty to abide by my wishes. I am not a captive here. I can't just be surrounded by you all the time. You let me mark you, and I will let you do what you want, he says calmly. You know I won't let you. No matter what I do, it all ends up at marking me. What the hell is your problem? I almost shout as I rise from the bed. What the hell is your fucking problem, Bella? What I am asking for is my right. Why are not you ready to get marked when it gives you the freedom you crave so much? He walks around and stands right in front of me, because it's not as easy as you say it is. And you know it. Once you mark me, I am bound to you. Our feelings will become one and our bodies will have to. Once you mark me, we will have to consummate the bond, and I am not ready for that right now. I growl, my eyes burning with rage. I am your mate, Arabella, and I have needs. You are supposed to fulfill them and not keep pushing me away. What if we consummate the bond and I make you mine? Why do you find it so difficult? Because it is difficult. Can you imagine how hard it is to one day suddenly leave the life you've led for 19 years and just adjust in a pack, bound by rules and guarded by people? No, you can't. You are used to having things happen your way, and that is why you don't get the dilemma I am in. I was free, happy and my own ruler. Now here, I have you telling me every day what to do. Yes, I have a purpose and maybe some actual work to do, but this is not what I imagined my life to be, okay? I wanted to live my life my way, and not freaking stay under your gaze every minute of the day. I am not the kind to be bound. You get that. I say, my emotions portrayed clearly in my raging voice. Xalvador stares at me. His eyes darken and then approaches me, stopping just a step away from me. Sugar bun. No matter what I do, I am controlled by my wolf, and it wants you. And you don't know the struggle I go through every time I see you, or touch you or watch you talk and argue with me. I have him on the leash and you should be thankful for that. Because Bella, the moment my wolf takes over, none of your arguments will stand any ground. It will be just him and his pure, burning desire. He says in a husky voice near my ear, and I tremble. I know what he is saying is right. The more I fight him, the more his wolf will get angry and try to break from the control Xalvador has on him. And I can't let that happen. I sigh if I have lost the argument. I walk past him, out of his room, and thankfully he doesn't question. I walk to the open field and stand there, gazing up at the stars. My feet are bare and the moist grass is somewhat relaxing. I close my eyes in peace as a gush of air caresses my face. Today suddenly, I miss my grandmother very much. I wish I had someone I could call family. Someone who would understand my struggle and my doubts right now and tell me that it's going to be all right. I see a star twinkle brightly and I remember the days I slept cozily in the arms of the only family I had. I miss you, Grandma. Blinking back tears, I take deep breaths. I see the Luna is displeased about something. Did your pack not treat you right? I hear a voice, with a taunt lacing, and instantly recognize it. It's been days since I last saw him or heard of him. Kane. I acknowledge as he stands beside me, in his usual bent stance. You didn't answer my question, Luna. He urges, and I sigh. I don't know why you dislike me, but I am not really out for a conversation right now. Please. I say, my voice clearly showing my tiredness. "Oh, I don't dislike you," he replies in what must be the most sincere voice I must have heard from him. I blink in surprise and look at him to find he is gazing forward, lost in thoughts. "Good night, Kane," I say after a silence falls between us and walk back to my room. "Good night, Miss Arabella," he whispers, and once again I'm surprised, but a smile creeps up to my face. I reach Xalvador's room to find him gazing out of the window. "You're back," he says, still turned towards the window. I don't reply and slip beneath the sheets. I close my eyes as tiredness takes over, and in the distinct state, I realize him pulling me to his chest and kissing the back of my head. I wake up next day to the bright sunlight on my face. I squint and sit up, realizing I am early than usual. I quickly shower, dress in a gray, blue long top with leggings beneath. I leave my damp hair open and hop to the ground into the back of the house where I know Xalvador trains. As expected, I find Xalvador working out there and I join him. "Let's train," I announce from behind, and he turns immediately. He looks surprised but regains his composure within a second and motions to go to him. "Let's work on your attack. Right now, in the human form, and in the evening you will shift," he orders, and I nod silently. "Kick perfectly straight. As straight as you can manage," he instructs, and I raise my legs, kicking in the front. "Now go higher and hold it there." I swing my leg back and push it higher, trying to balance on the other foot. Xalvador grasps my waist and the leg in the air and urges it higher. I ignore all the tingles on my skin, put my hand on his shoulder for support as he stretches my leg to the maximum. "Ouch," I squeak as he takes my legs to the highest I can manage, and he immediately drops the legs softly to the ground. "Now this is the point, you have to swing your Lego," he commands, and gets in line with me, swinging his right leg in sync with mine. We do that for about 15 minutes, with higher and higher levels and me putting in extra force with every kick. He then does the same with the left leg. He teaches me side kicks, and I marvel every time he demonstrates a move with ease and power. I am drenched in sweat and tired by the time I finish. I realize I haven't had breakfast as my stomach grumbles. "You came without eating," Xalvador admonishes, and I just ignore him. I start walking away, but he snatches me back by my arm. "Don't ignore me, Bella," he says in a low, threatening voice, and I wriggle my arm out of his grasp. "I am not ignoring you. I literally trained for an hour right now with you," I say as convincing as I can. He pulls me closer to him and my heart lurches. "I don't like this," he says, his hand caressing my cheeks. As I look back into his eyes, I feel something different. I see something different. His eyes aren't gleaming today. I sense sadness, but then shrug it off. "Xalvador, please." "I am hungry. Let me go," I say, and he stares blankly at my face a bit longer and then releases me. He walks away to the main door, and I feel surprised. He never leaves me so easily. Well, I guess he's learning. I reach the kitchen, and the cook serves me a cheese sandwich. I smile thankfully at him, and he smiles back. I quickly finish the sandwich and then roam aimlessly around the house. I spot Maisie in the hallways, and I'm relieved to find her. "Maisie, hi," I say, and she smiles back. "Hey, Arabella," she says, and I grin wider. She is finally calling me Arabella. "Do you want to go and try out your spells? I can practice my fire strength," I ask, excited, and she nods immediately. As we walk past the hallways, I find people more silent than before. "Maisie, why is everything so gloomy today?" I ask her as we walk to the lake. "Alpha didn't tell you?" she asks, and I shake my head in negation. "Arabella, today is Alpha Xalvador's birthday," she says and pauses. "So shouldn't everyone be happy?" I question, confused, and she shakes her head again. "Many years from now, on this day, Alpha Xalvador's mother ran away. It was supposed to be a grand celebration for Alpha's 8th birthday, but in the morning the Luna couldn't be found anywhere. It was later found out that she ran away for unknown reasons. But many claim that she loved someone else, and which is why she ran. Alpha Xalvador's father loved her more than anything, and her running away came as a huge blow. His health started deteriorating, and soon he became weak. And one day, she explains softly, and I feel 1,000 knives stabbing me at once. Xalvador was so much in pain, and I was being a jerk to him. Shit, I added to his misery. The mate bond clenches in pain. I close my eyes to control my feelings. My entire body feels like it's being hit continuously, and I can think of nothing but comforting him. My mate, Fiona, takes over and urges me to go to him. I lose the battle and agree to going to him. So basically this day just brings him sadness and bad memories. Maisie finishes and I nod slightly. Maisie, I must go and see Xalvador right now. Can I see you later? I am sorry, I say, and she smiles. Of course, Arabella. I understand, she says, and I smile back. I start on my way back to the house. Here I come, Xalvador. Back to Pavilion, I am walking towards his office when Liam calls me from behind. Hey, Luna. Hey, Liam. I'm in a bit of a hurry. I'll meet you later, okay? I shout to him, looking over my shoulder. He walks away with a nod, and before I can turn my head, my body crashes into someone's. Watch it. The voice growls, and I look up to find myself staring at Xalvador. I am sorry. I wasn't looking. I mumble, and his eyes soften just a bit. He doesn't say anything, as if waiting for me to speak, and I quickly ask. So where are you going right now? To the pack borders. Axel needs my help, he says in a curt tone. Okay, I say, and he stares at me for a moment and then continues on his way. Reacting to my instincts, I call out to him. Xalvador, wait. I call out and he stops, still not facing me. It's a good thing too. It's easier to talk when I don't have to gauge his scary reactions. I am sorry for acting like a jerk last night. Someone told you, he says quietly and walks away. It takes me a minute to register the meaning, and when I do, he has already disappeared in the woods. Xalvador's POV, I walk deeper into the woods, my thoughts shifting from my 8th birthday to Arabella. That woman drives me crazy. She makes me so angry that I always think I will punish her, but then, one look at her face and my resolve breaks. She looks so damn beautiful walking and talking around. And the way she talks to me, fearlessly, it's something that makes me both the kinds of mad at her and for her. She is the perfect combination of soft and tough. How easily she switches between the two traits. It marvels me. But her resistance to mate with me, it drives me insane. I've seen the way other wolves look at her as she walks around without a mark. She is beautiful, and I can't tolerate other people staring at what is mine. What happened to Dad? I won't let that happen to me. Tomorrow, I will make her mine. I will mark her no matter what. The past few days, since she has come, I have been too soft. I have to be my old self. She will accept me the way I am, or I will take her against her will. Bind her and lock if necessary, but she won't be ever leaving. Alpha. Axel's voice breaks me out of my trance. Look at this, he says, pointing to a dead wolf on the ground. I sniff and growl as I realize who it is. It's that damn Blackwater again. What the fuck was this wolf doing here? I ask, my voice contradicting the anger I'm feeling. Alpha, this wolf was the same. He extraordinarily fast-moving speed and more powerful. It was very hard to overpower him, but we managed somehow. Any of the warriors injured? Yes, but the damage is not. And this wolf was alone. Yes, but he had a message. I blink in surprise and ask for the message. The Black Waters Alpha sent a message which said, "The war is coming." Axel said cautiously, and my whole body stiffens. How dared Aaron threaten the biggest pack in the world like this? He wants a fight. Then I'll show him one. Bring the dead wolf to the pack house. I know what to do. I bark and Axel nods. I near the pack house almost in the later afternoon to stop abruptly as I hear the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. The sound of laughter. The sound of Arabella's laughter. My head snaps in the direction as I follow my ears to back of the house where we were training this morning. Why is she there? Is she with Liam again? If he's the one with her, I swear I will kill him. My murderous thoughts come to an abrupt halt as I watch the most unexpected scene unfold in front of me. Arabella is on the ground, twirling and laughing as two kids tickle her. Tyler and Mariah. How did they come here? I watch Arabella as she clutches her sides, giggling and laughing while the duo tickle her relentlessly. Her beautiful brown locks splash around randomly as she struggles to breathe. I've never seen her so carefree before, so happy and so much at ease. I wish she was like this all the time. I suddenly remember the day when I was young and how my mother used to tickle me in the same way, but she left for someone else. She broke the vow she gave my dad, and she betrayed her own mate. She ran, and I hate her. What if Arabella leaves too? My subconscious nudges at me and my blood boils. No, she won't ever leave. I won't let her. Xalvador. I snap out of my thoughts as Arabella calls out, now sitting on the ground. Tyler and Mariah's eyes widen as they look at me, and I soften my gaze. Alpha. They say, nodding politely, and I nod back. Mariah grabs Tyler's hand protectively, and I marvel at how much of a big sister she is. She looks after Tyler just like a mother would look after her son. Mother-son. I blink my thoughts away as Belle stands and the kids lead. How did they get here? I ask, my voice colder than I want it to be. Arabella flinches a bit but then composes her demeanor. Like always. I am sorry I got them here without asking, but the house they live in would have almost fallen. I went to pay them a visit and couldn't bear their condition. I persuaded them and the old lady a lot, and she finally agreed. Can they stay here? She asks, the last part coming out as a whisper. Yes, I'll have a room arranged. I say curtly and walk away. My action takes us both by surprise. But right now, I'm in a bad mood. And at such times, it's very hard for me to keep my wolf Adrian at bay. The more close I stay to her, the more it will want to take her and ravish her as mine. I will do that soon, but that day is not today. Tomorrow. I promise myself. I focus my attention on the matter at hand. The wolf lays dead in the basement as Beta Axel and Lee instructions. Pierce through his skin and fur. I want you to inscribe the words "You are dead" on its body. Use silver and make it look as gruesome as you can. Then dispose the body near its packland, making sure it will be noticed. I want their alpha to get the message clearly. Also, cut of its tail. I order and the duo leave with the dead wolf's body. I hear a gasp and my neck turns to find Arabella standing near the bottom of the staircase. How the hell did she get in here? Xalvador, or you can't do that. She says, her face a mask of pain and disgust. What do you mean? I ask coldly, though I know exactly what she is referring to. A punishment for that wolf, not to mention who is already dead, is very cruel. She explains, frustrated as if I'm a child who can't understand what is to do. I am cruel. I say, my voice void of any emotions. Emotions that she is trying to provoke. Emotions that aren't there. Her eyes widen as if she didn't expect this. Why? She has always called me a monster. Why is surprised at my confession then? Xalvador, you ordered to cut off his tail. That's not fair and you know it. she says, her voice rising. Cutting off the tail was not only merciless but also shameful. It was considered as the most degrading punishment within a werewolf clan. It was basically stripping off a wolf from all its honor. I did what I saw fit. The wolf entered my pack land, injured my wolves, and brought a threatening message. That bastard deserved it. I growl as I recall the past few days and the number of wolves that my pack lost. No, the wolf didn't deserve it. She growls, and I am surprised to see her like this. You know, the wolf was only following the order of its alpha. He was loyal and immensely brave. He entered the pack land of the biggest and most dangerous pack just because it was faithful. And as much as I know, after a wolf dies, it's the duty of a fellow wolf to bury its body under the river. Because the wolf dies as a warrior, just like your wolves that day. You can't strip its honor for following the rule of its own alpha. You aren't this. Her word hit me hard as I realized she is right. The wolf does deserve to be buried as per tradition, but she will have to learn this. Learn who I really am. A cruel and heartless monster, and I only care for what is mine. My pack, my wolf, my mate. Anyone tries to harm them and they sign their own death petition. Arabella, I already gave my orders. I am your alpha, wanted or not. Stop arguing with my rules and judgments. I bark harshly. She is about to say something but doesn't. She didn't contradict or argue as to how she was not from this pack, how wasn't her alpha. Good. Suddenly she stares into my eyes. A deep, cut-through stare that shakes my soul. Before I can decipher anything, her hand shoots up and she cups my chin, tempting me to mark her and fulfill my sinful desires. As I gaze down at her eyes plunge deeper into my soul. What are you doing? I ask and am shocked when my voice comes out hoarse. She breathes and then the hand on my cheek moves, her thumb grazing my stubble, searching for answers to my questions. She whispers as if a trance, her eyes still locked with mine. Her answer has me trembling on the inside as I finally register her words. And did you find anything? I ask, taking every small feature of her face. Yes, she whispers. You are hurt. My whole form stiffens as she speaks the words, and I control myself from pulling her to me and put an end to my agony. She read past my wall. She read what I kept buried inside the deepest corners of me. I am at loss of words and reaction when she continues. You aren't heartless. You are just hurt. More than you show, she says timidly, now cupping my face with both hands. Her eyes are full of emotions, concern standing out the most. I stay silent. Wait. This is the most affectionate and intimate moment I'm sharing with her, and I don't want to ruin it. You are hurt, Xalvador, but that doesn't mean you hurt other people. Especially when you don't really want to. Pain doesn't drive away pain. She says softly, and I have to literally stop myself from agreeing. I am heartless and pain does drive me. This is who I am, Arabella. The last few days was a facade I put on. Get used to this now. I say rudely, and she flinches slightly. My heart tears apart when I see hurt flash through her beautiful eyes that still don't show any emotion. I don't want to hurt her, but I can't give her hopes either. Hopes will give her power. The power which will make her think that she can change me, fix me, but it can't. And I don't want to. I walk away, leaving her standing there speechless at my harshness. Arabella's POV iced, and they're dumbfounded as Xalvador walks away. I never have seen this side of him, so cold and distant. He was fine just this morning, and now, it's as if he is not Xalvador. Or maybe he is not the Xalvador I came to warm up to in the last few days. Today I fell for him. A strange emotion, something that I felt came from within me and not the mate bond. And just then, he ruined it. I walk impassively to the dinner and find people already seated, waiting for Xalvador. I nod at Elizabeth, who smiles in return. Xalvador arrives shortly after. He takes a seat and just after 15 seconds, his fist clashes with the table and he barks. Why is the food not served yet? The cook curries in, along with Maisie, Sandra and Emily, and they quickly serve the food. Then made to take a place at the far edge of the table, and I silently eat. If he is going to behave like this, he isn't getting any reaction from me. Xalvador is the first one to finish his food, and he stomps away to his office immediately. And I notice no one flinches or is surprised. I catch Maisie after dinner, as she is cleaning the plates. She stops me from being an aide so I don't force. I don't want her to get into trouble because of me, especially when Xalvador is acting so strange. Or normal. Maisie, just now at dinner when Xalvador snapped and barked angrily, no one even flinched. Why? I ask her, confused. She sighs and looks at me, arranging the plates on a stand. Arabella, we flinched when he first didn't shout. I remember it was the first dinner you ate with us. You may not have noticed, but all of us were surprised to see him like that. So calm and ease. It was almost as he was. Happy, but I guess today has reminded him of true self. And we were surprised a bit, but it was actually his normal behavior. Maisie says, and I fall silent. I think the memories from this day back 15 years still haven't been erased a bit. She continues, and I look at her in confusion. Wait, 15 years? You mean Xalvador is just 23? Yes, she asks, surprised, because he looks so mature. I say, lost and dazed. He's so damn young. I know it. But he had to take over an entire pack when his father died. His brain is even far more mature than his looks. I wake up next morning to find the bed empty again. Last night, I waited for Xalvador to return, but he never came. The place beside me is hollow, which means he did come to sleep. It's only 6 and he's already gone. I sigh as I shower and change into black slacks and an orange t-shirt. I quite like this one. It has light orange lace on the borders of neckline, sleeves, and the hem. I let my hair down with a side partition and go downstairs. I grab a sandwich for breakfast and then walk to the back of the house. I don't find Xalvador there like yesterday. Okay, so now he is just going to back off on his own word. Great. I still wait for 20 minutes, but he doesn't turn up. I'm about to leave when Liam calls to me. Hey, Miss Arabella. No training today? He asks, his body glistening with sweat. He looks quite attractive and his nature is charming. His mate is going to be a lucky woman. Nope. Your alpha decided to ditch me, I guess. I say sadly. Oh, I can volunteer if you want. He suggests and my face lights up. Of course. I barely have anything to do the whole day. I say, clapping my hands in glee. It's always fun with Liam. He laughs and then instructs me to warm up. About a half an hour later, he shows me technique to tackle the person on the ground. See, you come from the front. Raise your left leg, making the opponent think that's your attack move. Then suddenly thrust your right leg. Entwine it with their left and pull them down with the arm and thud. On the ground. He explains and I nod, fully concentrating. Okay? Now you try. He says and I look at him determined. I do exactly as he instructed and pull him down with full force. He falls, obvious helping me, and I land on him. My legs on either of his torso. See? I am so powerful. I tease and he smirks. He is about to say something, but a thundering growl pierces the air. What the fuck are you doing? Xalvador. Steamy decision. It's not what you think, I begin, but before that Xalvador is on Liam. Punching him. Oh my god, Xalvador, stop. I shriek as he beats him and Liam defends. Alpha, I was teaching her to fight. Liam screams as he puts up a defense. How fucking dare you touch my mate? Xalvador exclaims and I grab his arm, pulling him backwards. He doesn't budge and continues his assault on Liam. Before sanity can register, I raise my hands and concentrate. A small fire lights up at Xalvador's right hand that is beating Liam. What the hell? He growls as his hand burns. Seeing him hurt burns me on the inside and I quickly snap my hand back. He was teaching me defense techniques, please calm down. I exclaim hurriedly and he turns towards me. I motion Liam and he runs away, sensing his presence will only cause damage. Xalvador's eyes darken as he realizes what I did and I gulp. This new Xalvador is not someone I can handle. He takes a step forward and I back off. His fists clench as he rakes his eyes all over my body in a way that has my insides churning with fear. Bella, I want to mark you so badly right now. He growls a low, carnal whisper. Oh my god. I smile sweetly at him and then turn around and flash, beginning to run as fast as I can. I don't hear him as I just keep running. Xalvador has lost control. I dash in the house and people, earning confused looks and sprint to Xalvador's room. I almost smile as I don't hear him behind me when I enter the room. I am about to close the door but a hand creeps in the door, not allowing it to budge. Shit. Xalvador pushes with easy grace and I stumble backwards. He locks the door as he turns to me and I gulp in fear. He closes on me as my back hits the wall and I yelp. He seems to be enjoying my reaction as he pulls me closer by my waist. I gasp as he leaves no space between our bodies and dives in to kiss my neck. He sucks and nips all the neck in the uncovered area just near my chest. Let me mark you, sugar bun. You make me so mad every time you talk to other wolves having no brand of mine. He whispers slowly, his voice calm. His lips urge me to answer him and I find myself losing in the pleasure. He thrusts his lower body forward, grinding and making me go crazy with sensations. Xalvador. You won't mark me. I try to say as firmly as I can. He growls and stares at me. His eyes darken to a point where they seem full black and I'm scared. Totally. I can literally feel the anger radiating off him as he tightens his hold on me. Damn, Bella. Why the hell are you so stubborn? You are my mate, and if I want to mark you, I will fucking mark you. He growls, his fingernails further digging into my sides. No, you won't. Or you know the consequences. I say, almost giving into the heat of the moment. This angers him further and he clutches my sides tighter. He leans in, inhaling my scent and ruthlessly attacks my neck. He mercilessly nips and kisses the area he is supposed to mark and I moan. Why, he says between kisses, do you deny this? This pleasure that I can make you feel. The bond that we share. Put an end to the agony, Bella. Just give in. He persuades me while he picks me up and I wrap my legs around his waist. Our bodies press together and I gasp, feeling waves of pleasure and intense desire coursing through me. No. I stutter and he sighs in frustration. He slams me to the wall roughly and the next minute his lips are on mine, abusing and punishing me in his own way that makes me lose my sanity. For a moment, I lose everything and kiss him back, with the same fervor and same passion. Letting the bond rejoice, my lips suck on his urgently, demanding more. He grinds his body into mine, slamming me to the wall and I gasp. His tongue grabs the opportunity and slips inside, massaging mine. I realize what I'm doing and pull his face away. No, please stop, Xalvador. I'm not ready for this. I say, gasping for air as he stares back hungrily. I can't let him mark me right now. especially when I have so many questions about my existence and my family. Elizabeth's revelations have shaken me to the core. But once he marks me, the mate bond will overpower my quest for answers. Everything will revolve around him and us, or at least that is what I've heard. I can't let that happen before I know who are my family. I breathe out and look at him cautiously. He looks conflicted as I plead with him with my eyes. He sets me down, his hold loosening only a bit. Suddenly he starts breathing hard and his body stiffens run. He screams as he thrashes from one side to another as if dodging an invisible force. Oh no. It's him. I dash as the realization sinks. My heart hammers as I sprint into the woods, trying to escape my mate's angry wolf. I run and run, but within a short time, I can hear Xalvador are behind me. Arabella, wait. A voice comes from him, but it isn't his. It is his wolf's voice. Oh my Jesus, no. Before I can go far, Xalvador suddenly pounces in front of me, his body shaking with what I know is anger and breathing hard. I tremble as I gauge his face. He doesn't look like himself at all. He is just more scary, bigger and more dangerous. And handsome. Yeah, thanks. Aficionados. Xalvador, please listen. Please just Adrian. It is not him. Adrian speaks in the same gruff voice. I can't wait no longer, Aficionados. I will mark you as mine. No, please. Not yet. There are a lot of things I don't know. Please, I begin, but Adrian cuts me off by pushing me against a tree. His lips crash with mine and I'm tempted to return the favor. His touch leaves fire on my skin as it trails from my cheek to my neck to my breast and finally settles on my waist, squeezing the flesh. His grip tightens to a point where its hurts hurt. His nails somehow no longer dig into my skin painfully. Bitch, you're hurting me. You hurt me too when you were fucking writhing on that third in command. He growls, his hands causing me pain now. His nails tear my shirt from near my shoulder and I gasp. His hand roughly caresses the area where I should be marked and then suddenly, he dives in. Ouch, no, stop. I scream as his teeth sink into my skin. He has almost marked me now. I muster all the strength I can and throw him off me. He screams in an animalistic voice as I distance myself from him. Xalvador, listen to me. Come back, please. I say, frantic yet my voice inviting. You know I would never forgive you if you mark me right now, without my consent. Please, it is me, your sugar bun. Just come back. Adrian takes a menacing step forward, and yet I don't lose hope. Please just come back, Xalvador, or you know you'll hurt me. I know you don't want that. You promised you will always protect me. Xalvador, please. I plead. It seems to be working as Adrian, or should I say Xalvador's body softens a bit, his eyes regaining color. His hard breathing calms just a bit, but enough to make me know it is not his wolf anymore. I am. He stutters and I run into his arms, effectively shutting him up. I can sense he is surprised, so I hug him tighter. Bella, I just lost. It is okay. It is okay. I understand. I whisper soothingly. I can't help but acknowledge the amount of conflicts he must face with his wolf every day. Aficionados wants him too, and boy, Adrian is scary. I look up to him and he gazes down at me. His eyes, his normal blended mix of colors. Luna. I hear a voice and instantly recognize it. I part from Xalvador's and he almost pulls me back but refrains himself. Hey, Maisie. I say as Maisie reaches us. She looks startled as she notices Xalvador there. I am sorry, Alpha. Luna. I didn't mean to intrude, she says as Ola, lowering her gaze. It is okay. We were just leaving. Xalvador answers curtly. I scramble my tattered shirt into its place and mouth I'll explain everything to Maisie. Stay here. I'll send some clothes for you. Xalvador are orders and I shake my head. Xalvador, are it okay? I can, you are not walking in front of my pack like that. He cuts me off and walks away. How the big bad alpha is back. Yeah, Arabella, what happened? Maisie questioned as Xalvador leaves earshot. Xalvador lost his grip on his wolf. And his wolf tried to mark me. I answer. Oh yum. So why did you come here? Found anything? And she nods. Yes, but need to go back to my room. I have found something really significant. Maisie says, and I can tell she is excited. Of course. It's not every day that one discovers that they have magical powers. I nod with a smile as we wait for our clothes. 30 minutes later, I find myself in Maisie's room surrounded by vintage-looking books. She is searching for something, while I wait patiently. Here, she hands me a book with a page already open. This is what I wanted to show you. I skim through the pages carefully and I look up at her. My eyes wide. Is this? I question and she nods. Yes, it is the spell that makes one inhumanly fast and powerful. Just like the several Silver Falls wolves. I complete her sentence. She just nods and we both fall into silence. This means they have a witch too. I ask, though I know the answer. Yes, only witches can do this spell. And besides, this spell does exactly what we saw in the Silver Falls. Maisie, you need to find out how much powerful spells exist. Or we will never know what they are planning. Xalvador is training everyone so hard, but if the opponents are extraordinary, our wolves will be helpless. Well, she says, a bit phased, and I frown in confusion. You said our wolves. She explains quickly. I sigh and debate whether I should tell her everything. When I don't find any reason to not tell her, I tell her everything. Maisie listens, surprised as I explain the events of the past few days. So you're a dark moon. Oh my God, that is amazing, she exclaims, and I nod feebly. Yes, Maisie, but it has brought more complications. Being born here means my parents may be here. I need to find them, but I just don't know how. I say, dejected. Arabella, I'll look in these books. Maybe I can find something to help you here. She says cheerfully, and I find myself smiling. I hope so, Maisie. Lost Hopes Xalvador's POV. Once again I enter my room to breathe the sweet, intoxicating smell of my mate. Adrian would have marked her if she hadn't reached out to me on the right time. And I know Sugar Bun would have never forgiven me for that. She is strong and stubborn. And that is something that frustrates and binds me to her. I know her eyes are on me as I shed my T-shirt to reveal my chiseled body. I smirk as I can literally hear her suddenly quicken pace of breathing and, just for a show, flex my muscles. Like what you see? I ask smugly, my back still facing to her. I grin as I don't hear a quick retort from her. Keeping a hard expression, I turn towards her, raising my eyes in taunting question. Don't flatter yourself, she manages with a failed hard expression. I walk to her, satisfied when her breath hitches and her eyes widen just for a second. I can tell after today, she doesn't trust me or Adrian. I smugly smirk as I place one knee on the bed and whisper in her ears. You know what could have happened if you didn't reach out to me today, Sugar Bun. You wouldn't have marked me, she says firmly, and Adrian is pleased on hearing the touch of trust in her statement. Maybe I wouldn't have, but Adrian is not a case I can guarantee. I say lightly, but suddenly, her body stiffens. I can feel the wrath flowing off her as I run a finger through her jawline and down to her delectable neck. She scrambles off the bed, sensing the future events, and scurries to the bathroom. I am about to rejoice in my small victory when Liam mind links me. Alpha. Elizabeth found something. I'll be there in 5. I say curtly, and with a last glance to the bathroom, leave. Alpha, I had been thinking a lot about the Silver Falls' extraordinary powers. I therefore reached out to some of my friends and have found out something totally unheard. She says, and I nod at her to continue. These powers are not her editor or achieved by practice and hard work. They are powers of nature. Powers of magic. I frown as none of what she says registers with me. What do you mean? Alpha, there is a strange smell on these wolves, as you know. I got in touch with some of my friends and they told me about witches. It's a spell or a magic chant that binds them with these powers. I look at Elizabeth incredulously, shocked with this new information. Sure, I had heard about witches and magic, but I never thought I would encounter one case for real. But if what she is saying is indeed true, then my pack is the biggest threat. They're way more stronger than we would ever be. Oh no, this won't do. I have to find a way. How powerful are these witches? I ask one by one. It depends on the experience or practice that particular witch has. And you can say for sure, the Silver Falls have a witch. I trust my capabilities of sniffing and also the opinion of my friends. So yes, they do have a witch. They do have a witch. I advise you send spies on this work immediately. She replies confidently, and my fears are confirmed now. Elizabeth never speaks like this unless she is absolutely sure. What am I to do now? Arabella's POV. Maisie. Oh my God, Maisie, stop. I yell as I spot Maisie near the river, chanting and blood pouring out of her ears. I jerk her violently and she finally recovers. I breath a sigh of relief as tears flow down freely from her eyes. Maisie, what the hell were you doing? This was just like last time. I scold as I bring her water from the river in my hands and wipe the blood. It wasn't a strong spell, Arabella. I don't understand why I can't do it. She says, her tone disappointed. Maisie, calm down. You are new to this. Don't rush things. Please, you can't keep hurting yourself like this. But Luna, we don't have time. I can sense it. The Black Water and Silver Falls have a witch far more stronger than me. They will leash it out big, she says frantically. Maisie, I am elemental and you are a witch. Our wolves are far more stronger and Xalvador is smarter than them. We will get through this, okay? I ask and Maisie just nods feebly. But something's not right, Arabella. The spell I was doing needed power. And I drew that power from the flowing river, but still I couldn't do it. It was a very small spell. Just would have gushed the wind in violence. So you think you should have been able to do it? I ask and she nods. Let's go to my room. There are many more journals and books that I've found in the library. It's surprising that no one else than you found the spell books. I say, wondering and thankful. That's because you will not really find any wolf here who is a fan of literature and not fights and bloodshed. The library, they say, was built by the previous Alpha and Luna. They both loved books, especially the Luna. If it hadn't been for that, the library would have been destroyed way back, and instead there would be another training file there. She explains and I nod. After about 20 minutes, I and Maisie stumble into her room with a huge pile of books. Phew, that was huge. Yeah, you're free right. The language can take a bit longer to comprehend, actually. Maisie says and I nod. We sit to work, each one us picking a book and scanning through it. Wait. Maisie, you were the one who came into Xalvador's room for taking my measurements, right? I ask suddenly and she looks up amused. Yes, Luna. That was me. Why ask suddenly, though? She giggles a bit. I grin and shake my head. Nothing. The thought just crossed over suddenly. I say with an nonsense shrug. She shakes her head in amusement and we both get back to work. I skim through pages after pages, understanding the strange pictures and words with great difficulty while Maisie seems more familiar. Maisie, what exactly are we looking for? Look for a spell called Santiar of Aura or something that might strike you as wind and movement. She explains and I nod. Xalvador's POV mind link with the information as soon as you can. I bark rough orders to my two of the best spies. All I need to know is if the enemies do really have a witch. And if they do, I need to know who she is so I can find and kill her. Alpha. The wolves nod and leave in a disciplined manner. I sigh as I lean back in my chair. What is all this suddenly? Me fearing for my pack is not something I am accustomed to. The Silver Falls, and the Black Waters. I and the Black Waters go way back in the area of Enmity. But why the weakling Silver Falls are with them, I can't comprehend. I close my eyes as the events of the past flash in front of me. Dear son, by the time you get this, I will not be you anymore. I am sorry that I succumbed to my problems and got weak. I did not successfully fulfill the role of a father or an alpha. But son, that's what mates do to us. They make us powerful, complete, and we call it at the same time. I never will come to know why your mother ran, but if you ever find your mate, don't let her go. I guess I never gave her the love your mother deserved. But when you find your mate, love her and protect her. My pack is in your hands, son. I am sorry for being the worst father ever. I love you, Xalva. Please try to forgive this old wolf. Tears prickle at my eyes as I clutch the tiny piece of paper. My father. No, master. Master. I heard a guard entering my room. He was Brent, my father's beta. Alpha. I mean, your father is dead. I completed for him as tears streamed down my face. I ran to his room as fast as my legs could carry, only to find the most heartbreaking scene ever. My father lay there, pale and lifeless, looking nothing like the alpha of the biggest pack. The Blackwater pack. I lost my only family. Before I had time to mourn over my loss, another bad news sneaked in. Master, the rogues have attacked us. There are hundreds out there and our guards are not prepared. You must get out of here. Brent spoke and I paled. All those threats that they gave when my father was alive came true. The nerve of those cowards. They attacked when the pack was in such a fragile state. We will fight back. Get the guards in form. I had ordered in the most courageous way I could, and Brent nodded. Yes, master. We will, but not you. You, the women and children, must flee to safety. The future of this pack lays in your hands. But your H-on bloodline will end if something happens to you. Please, no beta. I cannot leave my pack like this. Don't even think of it. I barked. Master, please. You don't understand. Your father's name will never be heard of again if you die, and with the amount of rogues out there, we will have to face defeat. Brent had tried to reason, but I didn't budge. I argued and then suddenly felt a blow at the back of my head. I held in pain and I lost balance and two arms held me. I am sorry, master. Brent had spoken, and it was the last that I saw of him before everything went black. The day I lost my pack, its name and my family. And then the Blackwater became the Dark Moon Pack. We built stronger with the rogues I found loyal, and from the children that were safe from that night's brutal happenings. I shake my head to clear my thoughts and sigh. If the Blackwater want a fight, I'll give them one. At least I have an elemental on my side. But I am ready to risk her life for the pack she doesn't even belong to. Arabella's POV. Maisie, look. I scream excitedly as I finally find what we have been looking for the past 1 hour. She immediately jumps and takes the book from my hand and scans the content. She frowns after she finishes. Arabella, I don't understand. This spell is exactly what and how I did it. Yet I couldn't. I really don't know what loophole I'm missing. She says dejected, and I take the book from her. Read. A statement clicks in my brain and my head shoots up. What? She asks, curious, and I explain slowly. Maisie, It says that a witch and only a witch can do this spell successfully. Yeah, so I am a witch. She looks at me incredulously. Maisie, you are also a werewolf. You are a half-witch and maybe that's why. My voice fades away as I let her register. Her eyes widen in realization and she nods furiously. She sighs and then closes the book. She is about to keep it aside when something grabs her attention and she frowns. I look at her in a questioning way and she points to a name of the bottom of the book's rusty-looking cover. Gabriella Adams or H on. That must be the name of whichever witch wrote this. What's so surprising? I ask, frowning in confusion as her face pales. That is the name of the Luna. Alpha Xalvador's mother. Her words actually take me a while to register, and when they do, I am dumbfounded. Revelations. Maisie looks like she is in a trance while I gawk at her dumbfounded. This means Xalvador's mother was a witch. I ask, not knowing what to anticipate as the answer. Maisie thinks and then finally nods slowly. Oh my god, yes. The Luna was a witch. You know, they always said that the Luna was magical. Until now I just thought that was an exaggerated form of praise, but... Her voice fades and I gulp. Xalvador is in for such a big surprise. Why don't we find her? Try to contact her. Tell her in what danger our pack is. Maisie nods quickly as if she was thinking the same yes. Because these are not the spells I can perform. Maybe she found another love, but the Luna had done a lot for the pack and its upliftment. These people, it said, were just a bunch of savages who were made into civilized people under the guidance of the Luna. I'm sure she will help us if she knows in what danger her son is. Maisie says with a package of renewed hope in her voice. I smile lightly as I see some possibilities for us to have an upper hand in the upcoming pack fight. I saw of some locator spell back a few days. I'll find that and see that if I can do that one. It would be easier that way. Yeah, that would make things smooth. I wonder how suddenly my life had changed and how one revelation that I was born in this pack has changed my outlook on this entire thing. Maybe it was the moon's plan to get me here so I could return to where I belong. Why I was moved from here in the first place, I will never know, but that is fine. Now I've realized that being elemental has duties, and those duties are towards my pack. I cannot escape them, and lately, I've realized I don't want to either. I have started facing the fact that this is the life I'm supposed to live, meant to live. As an elemental, as a Luna. The word takes me back to Xalvador. It's getting harder day by day to resist him, to not let him mark me. I may want to live in this pack as its member, but I am not ready to be claimed by someone yet. I sigh as I realize that he will begin his erotic mate bond torture once again as night will fall. Arabella. Maisie's urgent voice snaps me out of my trance and I blink. Yeah, what's wrong? Alpha. He is calling for you, she exclaims, and I focus my hearing on the outside. Bella. Xalvador's voice booms and I realize we have been in Maisie's room almost all day. I sprint to my legs and rush to find Xalvador before he decides I have fled. I spot him just as he is angrily leaving his room and his eyes snap immediately in my direction. Where the hell were you the whole time? He immediately walks towards me, his body shaking with fury. He growls loudly, grabbing my shoulders. I was with Maisie. We were busy. I say. He glares at me angrily. And why the fuck did you shut off the mind link? What the hell am I supposed to think? He shouts as he pulls us into his room. Okay, seriously. I am not in the mood for his stupid possessive tantrums right now. You need to think that I am a person who has own work to do. And I shut the mind link off so that I face no interruptions. Stop making fuss about everything. I snap. This guy is ridiculous. I was literally thinking the whole time to find his mother back and saving this pack, and here he is, screaming at me for not making an appearance for just a half day. Seriously, dude. Give me a break. He is about to say something, but I cut him off before he can start. And plus, you don't own me, okay? I am your mate, but doesn't mean I have to register myself in your diary of my whereabouts every time I step outside a radius of 10 cm away from you. And you know what? This is the reason I don't let you mark me. This statement angers him further, and his eyes darken. With anger and lust. You act so protective. Who knows what you will do once you mark me and we share a bond that binds our bodies and souls to G. I am cut off with the shock of my life as Xalvador presses his lips on mine. The shock runs through my, making me lose balance. Xalvador quickly grabs me by the waist while his lips urgently caress my still ones. His lips feel amazing against mine as he clenches us closer. He pulls away after what seems like an eternity, and I stand there breathless, dumbfounded. You are such a turn-on when you get all riled up with your lips moving so furiously. It gives me so many ideas, sugar bun. He says, his voice husky and smug. His words cause havoc in my body as I feel undeniable attraction to him. An attraction that would let him do anything he wants right now, without me opposing by a word. You just kissed me, I say, still stunned, and he nods amused. Yes, to show I do own you. He says, near my ear, and I shiver. Xalvador, or I have to go. I say lamely, and as I am about to walk away, he pulls me back. I need to talk to you about something, Bella. He says as his voice suddenly serious, and I thank heavens. My body regains its control over normal nervous functioning, and I calm down my stray thoughts. What about? Elizabeth sensed a strange smell on the wolves' right. That smell was of a magical spell. She believes the Silver Falls or the water have a witch, thus explaining the extraordinary speed and power of some of their wolves. He says, and I act like I'm surprised. Little does Xalvador know. We figured this out before, and he has larger threats and revelations lying on him. So what are you going to do now? I've sent my spies to confirm about the witch. And I'm still working on what to do if the answer comes positive. He says, his jaw clenching. Okay. I say simply. He nods, and the conversation ends there. He then leaves after a while, and I just sit in his room thinking about the kiss. Tremors runs through my body every time I recall the feeling. Maisie mind links me, and I rush to meet her by the river. Hey, what's up? Arabella, I have found a way by which we can contact or know about Luna Gabriella. She says lowly, and I grin. That's great. But for that, I'd need something very close to the Luna. Maybe her personal diary or something like that. She says, and I nod thoughtfully. Yeah, so maybe we can find that somewhere. Like maybe in the library itself. Arabella, there are things you don't know. After the Luna ran, as you know, Alpha Adam got weaker and weaker. One night he gave in to his misery and died. That same night, as if knowing the happenings, the Black Water attacked us. Alpha Xalvador was just state then. The previous beta rushed him, the women and children to Diafetti while they tired to defend themselves. I don't know much of what happened after that, but I've heard that months later when Alpha Xalvador returned back here, this house was in ruins and there were decaying corpses all around. Only some parts of this house, including the library, were somewhat intact. The Black Water, then known as Rogues, took away everything they could. Alpha Xalvador was broken and angry. His world had turned upside down in one night. In fact, he did not even get time to mourn his father's death or give him the royal burial he deserved. He blamed Luna Gabriella for everything, so all of her belongings were burnt and discarded. Only on the persuasion of Elizabeth, the library was let to stay. Oh my God. I gasped slightly, and Maisie nods. Wait, what do you mean by the blotter then known as Rogues? I ask as her words register. Maisie begins carefully, and I perk up straight. Arabella, our pack was the Black Water pack. The rogues took away everything they could, including our name and the power and glory it held. Alpha Xalvador did not back down. He formed his own new pack and refused to let his father's name be forgotten forever. And thus was born the Dark Moon. Maisie explained slowly, and I realize how much pain Xalvador has been living with. We sit there in silence for a while, feeling the thick tension in the air. So how will we contact the Luna now? I ask feebly. I found a way. But I will need your help for that, she says, and I straighten up. Anything. I'll do anything I can to help, I say enthusiastically, and she frowns. When she doesn't say anything, I persuade. What is it, Maisie? Come on, tell me. Arabella. You will have to let Alpha Xalvador mark you, she says quickly, and I find myself at a loss of words. Maybe anything didn't include Xalvador marking me. Thank you so much for joining me in this obsession with werewolves. I hope you've had a great time and can't wait to come back for more. Remember to subscribe, leave your comments, and share this passion with others. Until next time, keep being obsessed.